Evening, everybody. Welcome to your show, Marriage. And it's a pleasure to be here tonight. And tonight, our topic is a little bit explosive, but it's interesting. So, why not? Let's dig in and let's talk marriage. Tonight's topic is on infidelity, why people cheat. And when we say people, we're talking about husbands and wives. Why husbands and wives cheat. When we talk of fornication, fornication is for married people, right? And we don't want to focus on it right now because a lot of the factors are so different. So tonight we're just talking about why husbands or wives cheat, if they do. Okay. So statistics show clearly that both men and women cheat, both wives and husbands cheat. But it's universally accepted or is universally recorded that men cheat more than women. In fact, I thought that it was even more, but with statistics, it's what is recorded. So if they're recording responses and the women don't speak up, nobody know what they did. But it is generally accepted that men cheat more than women because maybe the men would be honest and talk about it and the women might hide it. I don't know. Or maybe society generally accept that, okay, maybe men will cheat, so husbands will cheat, so it's normal. And wives are not supposed to cheat. I don't know. But for now, all we know is that it's generally accepted that husbands cheat more than wives. Okay. So before we go on, what is infidelity? Infidelity simply means being unfaithful to your spouse. So if that person is not your spouse, well, you're not really you're not cheating. I don't know. But it just means being unfaithful to your spouse. It's not just physical. It could be physical, it could be emotional, or it could be both. So some people may engage in physical cheating, which includes kissing and romance and sexual intercourse. Or some people may just be cheating emotionally. They are with their partner, but they have somebody else they confide in. They have somebody else they discuss their issues with. They have somebody that they share their joys and their sorrows with. There's somebody that they have conversation with. They share their emotions with. So it's like somebody else is in the marriage as a partner, but there's a whole other person on the other side enjoying all the benefits, only that they are not involved physically. And that's also cheating. And it could be both. The partner may be involved in both physical cheating, emotional cheating altogether. It means that they are almost gone. So that is infidelity, which is the same as cheating. And before we go on, let's read our two verses for today that we are basing our topic on. And the verses are Hebrews 13, verse 4. I'm reading from the NLT. It says that give honor to marriage and remain faithful to one another in marriage. God will surely judge people who are immoral and those who commit adultery. They said if you're committing adultery, God will judge you. Or if you're being immoral, maybe you didn't go all the way, but you're doing all kinds of things that could be termed being unfaithful to your partner, because the Bible even says that looking lustfully on another woman, you already committed another person in your heart. So if you're doing all kinds of things that are immoral, but you didn't even go all the way, Hebrews 13 verse 4 is saying that God will judge you. Okay, the second verse is 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 22, and also from the NLT. It says that run away from anything that stimulates youthful lusts. Instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace. Enjoy the companionship of those who call on the name of the Lord. Let me find out that. Yeah. Enjoy the companionship of those who call on the name of the Lord with pure hearts. And two things stand out in this verse to me, saying that if you're cheating on your partner, you're indulging in something that is very youthful. It's like youthful lust. You should have outgrown this by now. For somebody who is married, it's not your place to be indulging in youthful lust. It's like you are past that stage. There's a saying that when you're young, you're foolish. People commit all kinds of mistakes when they are younger because youth is associated with being taking risks, trying to explore, being inquisitive, having lots of energy, not knowing what to do with it. But when you are married, you are deemed mature, or marriage is for mature people. So if you're still trying to cheat when you're married, you're indulging in youthful lust. And even youth are not supposed to indulge in youthful lust. But for them, it is expected that the temptation will be high. But even then, they're not supposed to indulge in it. So how much more a married person? It's like you should know better, right? And then it also says, enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with pure hearts. If everybody around you is cheating, if your friends are okay with cheating, when you go out for drinks and your friends bring their girlfriends, don't worry, you already have a girlfriend. You don't know yet, because very soon you're going to cheat. If your friends are talking about this guy they have on the side and you are just with them smiling and giggling and thinking it's funny, don't worry, very soon in fact, you already have your own boyfriend on the side, just that you are not seeing him yet, because the company that you keep slowly wears on you. And with time, they are able to negatively influence you. You might think that this is just talk, or these are just my friends. Oh, Mr. Biney, you're welcome. You are such a faithful partner in this whole thing. God bless you for being here tonight. Yeah. So if your friends find it okay to cheat, don't worry. Very soon you'll become like them, because it's like osmosis. The company that you keep, you become like them. So let's dig in. Let's find out what makes people want to cheat, or actually go ahead and cheat, or what makes people cheat. Okay. One thing we need to establish before we go on is that a lot of time people love partners, people want to be married, people love their marriages, they are happy in their marriage, or at least they still want to be married, but they'll go ahead and cheat. Why? That's what we're going to talk about now. Because it's very sad that somebody would still want to be married and then they'll go ahead and cheat anyway. And then when something happens, or when they are found out and a divorce occurs, they are broken and they are sad, because they didn't think about divorce when they're doing what they were doing. They didn't even want their marriage to end, but they still wanted to go ahead and cheat and get away with it. So in essence, it's more like they wanted to have their cake and eat it too. Let's find out, why do people do this, especially for those who are still in love with their partners, who still love their partners, who still want their marriage, who still want families to be intact. Why do people do this? The first reason is that the first reason is that a lot of conditioning or a lot of mindsets is subconscious. Sometimes you yourself, you don't even know why you're doing the things that you're doing. It might be because as you were growing up, one of your parents was a serial cheater. You probably were an escort, or you were an accomplice. You were used to call ladies, you were used to call guys, you were used to escorting one of your parents to go see their boyfriend or something. Sometimes it's something that you've grown up seeing. So it's made an impression in your mind. In your mind, it's okay to cheat. And the things that form in your mind as a child, they are very difficult to erase. And sometimes too, it may be from childhood trauma. Maybe you were sexually abused as a child. You could be a man, you could be a woman, but you were sexually abused as a child. That thing could break something in you, and then you feel like sex is nothing, sex is casual. You might have even started in your youthful days going back and forth, enjoying sex with whoever you liked until it became a habit. So now that you're married, you're finding it very difficult to change. And when you realize that you yourself, you don't want to cheat in your marriage, you yourself, you don't want to mess up your marriage, but you find yourself going to this guy all the time, or finding a boyfriend or finding a girlfriend every time you have the opportunity, you know that there's a conflict between you and your. You don't want to keep going that route, but something somewhere, something in your subconscious is pulling you towards a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You find yourself every now and then you have a boyfriend. You break up with that person, you are married, but you have a boyfriend on the side. That person goes away and another one comes. It's like you are repeating a cycle. Or you find yourself every now and then you need a new woman in your life. Even though you're married, you still love your partner and you don't like what you're doing. There are some people that they like what they're doing. They are okay with cheating. They feel like it's their right. That is another reason that people cheat. Their upbringing, their cultural background has ingrained in them that as for a man, you can cheat. Or as for a woman, it's okay to cheat. Just that make sure your husband doesn't find out, or respect your husband. Some of it is cultural. The people around you don't think there's anything wrong with it. And you have also like picked that up growing up. So it's in your mindset. Your mindset is that cheating is not such a big deal. So you go ahead and cheat. But for the person who always has a struggle, you know that what you're doing is not good. You're not happy with it. You're a Christian, you know you are sinning, you feel guilty about it. But every once in a while, you fall into temptation. You are the person who should know that maybe something happened in your childhood that you may not be aware of. You may not even be aware of. And what you do, go find a therapist, or you yourself sit down. Try to go through your childhood, find out things that happen. It's going to be difficult for you to do it by yourself if you don't have any knowledge in that area. So your best bet is to find a therapist. And you cannot afford a therapist or you cannot find one. Your best bet is to sit down and pray and dismantle any altars or any links or any soul ties or any influence that is making you cheat even when you don't want to cheat. You need to do that homework and you need to keep at it. Every time you have the urge to cheat, you have to find a way. Find a way to flee. Stop going to the places that you go that you find these ladies, and find a way to make yourself stop. Because if they said you're going to be shot if you are caught cheating, I'm sure you will be able to find a way not to cheat. But just because maybe you're not found out, or maybe you are forgiven when you cheat, you feel like, well, this is my weakness, let me live with it. No. If you find yourself not to cheat, but always falling into temptation, you should know that there's something for you to deal with in your background. You can use prayer, and you have to be consistent, and you have to keep at it, and you have to use actions. Stop going where you go that you cheat. Stop doing the things that help you to cheat. For some people, it's drinking. For some people, it's going to clubs. Whatever it is that you do that helps you to cheat, put a stop to it and pray. Deal with it in prayer and be serious about it until you get your breakthrough, because these strongholds are very difficult to break. So if you're not serious about it, life will just keep drawing you on, and you get all the consequences that you get. God will forgive you. In fact, He has already forgiven you before you start. But that does not mean you'll not get consequences. So if you find yourself falling to that temptation, your best bet, obviously, find a therapist. Stop doing those things that help you to fall into that temptation. And be consistent and strong. God will come through for you and you will have your freedom. You don't have to remain a cheater the rest of your life. Okay. The second thing is insecurity. Insecurity will make you cheat. Let's say you're in a marriage and you don't feel your partner loves you, you don't feel your partner has your back, you don't feel your partner supports you. In fact, even as you're married, you are thinking that your partner is cheating. Last week, I heard a song by Wendy Shea, and she was saying, all people cheat, all men cheat. And people like to say things like that. So maybe in your mind, oh, for all I care, my partner is cheating, so let me also go ahead and cheat. You don't believe in your marriage, and you yourself, you're in yourself, you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, you don't satisfy your partner enough, you don't have enough money that your partner loves you. Whoever you are, however much money you have, however beautiful or not beautiful that you are, remember that God made you. And God used His own specifications to make you. So don't go looking down on yourself. Whoever you are more than good enough. If you were not good enough, God will not give you life. God does not waste life. He said, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you and I appointed you to be a priest. So you too, you are somebody. Believe in yourself, believe in your marriage. Don't go around thinking that your husband or your wife is cheating. If you are suspecting them of cheating, the best thing to do is to call them, have a talk, list your expectations, and hold them accountable for it. There are many people who will not let you hold them accountable, especially if they are okay with cheating and they really want to cheat. But the bottom line is, when you were saying your marriage vows, you did not say your partner's vows for them. They did not say yours for you. You took your vows before God and they took their vows before God. So it is not your responsibility to make sure that the other person cheats. They said their own vows, they are accountable to God for themselves. You cannot follow them everywhere they go. You are good enough. Leave them alone. Whatever they do, what did Hebrews 13 verse 4 say? That God will judge them. So even if things behind your back, it is not your responsibility. You don't need to feel anxious. You don't need to feel like, if I don't do this, then He'll leave me. If He wants to leave you, if he wants to cheat on you, if she wants to leave you, if she wants to cheat on you, she will do it anyway. Nothing you will do can stop Him. Let's think about this. Jesus Christ came to earth to die for us. Jesus Christ is perfect. Jesus Christ loves us unconditionally. And yet, the things that Jesus asks us to do, day in and day out, we fail, right? Why? It's not because Jesus Christ is not good enough. The problem is us. So in the same way, if your partner is doing anything that he is not supposed to be doing, or your partner is doing anything that, or you are doing anything that you are not supposed to be doing, your partner's, it's not your responsibility. Whoever is misbehaving, it's on them. When the judgment day comes, they are the ones to give account. So don't feel insecure, don't feel anxious about what your partner is doing out there. When you sleep, sleep. Let them do what they want to do. If you catch them, deal with them as you see, as you deem appropriate. But even if you don't do anything, as you pray and you hand them over to God, God will surprise you. In fact, if you are not careful, you yourself, you go and beg God to leave them alone. It's not your responsibility. Be confident in yourself. Be happy in who God made you to be, and happy yourself. Don't be worried about what they are doing. Be worried about how you are keeping your vows. As long as you're keeping your vows right, you will be all right. Because if insecurity gets into your head, at some point you begin to feel that you deserve to cheat because they are probably doing something wrong. And then you find yourself cheating when nothing was going on, or even if something was going on their side, you have a responsibility to uphold your own vows. You cannot say, I'm cheating because somebody else is cheating. That's what insecurity will make you do. So let go of insecurity. Trust God, trust who He made you to be, and live your life. Be happy. The third reason that makes people cheat is immaturity. Like we just read, youthful lust is for youth, right? So somebody who is married, you're expected to be more mature than that. You see, life is in stages. Life is in cycles. It's okay to be young, dating people, falling in love, trying to find who you're marrying. Once you're married, it's okay to be romantic with your husband, to be romantic with your wife, and then children come. When children come, it's not the time to still be romantic and enjoying all your life. Majority of your time is going to go to your work and your children. Life is in seasons. You can't go to a mature stage in your life and still want to act like you're a teenager or still want to act like you're a youth. You need to accept that life is not exciting all the time. You can't have your wife size 6 all your life. When children come in, her body will change. She's going to get stretch marks. She may grow fat. It's not an excuse to grow, but it happens. It's like she will age. The face that she had when she was 20, she will not have the same face when she's 40. You've got to accept it like that. It's stages in life. And the children that she had, they are your own children. So you cannot say that I want a 20-year-old. That's immaturity. 20-year-old for what? You cannot say that my wife hasn't got time for me, so I need to go find somebody else who has time for me. Or I've outgrown my wife. She's no longer professional. She's just an old maid, and I need somebody fresh and eloquent and confident. No, you're being immature. Life happens. Life is in seasons. In the same way, you're gonna say that your husband hasn't got time for you, he's always working, he's not home, so you want to go find somebody who will give you attention, who will be talking to you. Life is in season. You are the of your life that you need to make money, you need to take care of your pension, you need to be able to save for the kids. If your husband should come and sit down, or you yourself should come and sit down in the home, always focusing on romance and all that, how are you going to live any proper life? Day in and day out, time is passing us by. Don't be immature and look for things that you should have left a long time ago. Youthful lust. Somebody will have kids and want to be going out all the time, going to the club. Those days are gone. And that's why it's important to enjoy your life when you're young and when you're single. Because when you get married and children come in, your life will change. Your best bet is to try to enjoy whatever season that you're in. And it takes the Holy Spirit to help you enjoy your life, because nobody can sustain dating for the rest of their lives. It's not possible, not practical. You can't go around spending your money on dates all the time. After a while, you'd want somebody who cares for you, not because you can spend on them, but they care for you because they know who you are. They've invested in you. You've invested in them, and the relationship is reciprocal. So don't go looking for thrills and newness because my marriage has become boring. If it has become boring, find ways to make it interesting. If there's something that your partner is doing that you don't like, sit your partner down, talk to them, come to a compromise. Keep working at it. The fact that you talked about it once doesn't mean the problem is going to disappear. Talk about it. Let them know what you need. And you also make some changes for them. It should be reciprocal. You do for me, I do for you. And you should both know that you have other things that keep you going, especially if you have children. So don't focus on, oh, my life has become boring. Boring is very good for raising kids. Having a family with the mother and father in the home, taking care of children is very important. Single parenting is not the ideal. Children lose out on a lot. So it's important that you have a family. You cannot do that running off with every new girl that you see, every new guy that you see. And if you're cheating, you're putting your marriage at risk. What if your cheating habits break your marriage? Then your children don't have a steady home. They don't have uh, a dependable place to be. Their lives are traumatized by divorce just because you decided you wanted something new. So grow up, stay mature. Know that life is in stages. Life is in seasons. When it gets boring, you got to stick to it. The reason why you give a vow when you marry is because it's not going to be easy for you to maintain your marriage without commitment. There will be times that it will be hard. So as you stand on the altar and you are reciting marriage vows, what you're telling yourself is that it may get harder along the way, but you will remain committed because you are mature. So far we said that the things that make people cheat is their subconscious programming during childhood. Maybe a parent was cheating, or it was normal in your home, or your cultural background supports it. And then we also said that immaturity. And then the third thing, insecurity. You yourself, you are not sure of the marriage. You think your partner is cheating. So let me also cheat. Okay, so the fourth thing that make people cheat is overconfidence. When you speak to a lot of people, they will tell you, as for me, I'm not like that. As for me, I'm too good to do that. I've never done that. I will never do that. How can somebody like me cheat? The minute you start saying things like that, you are the prime candidate for cheating. What does the Bible say in Corinthians? It says that the one who thinks he stands, he needs to be careful lest he fall, because the devil knows your ways. If you think you stand, be careful. Don't be confident in your own abilities. Know that you are vulnerable. If you hear that somebody cheated, don't think that it's too far from you and that you are beyond that. Rather, what you need to do is that know that if you let yourself, you will cheat. There is no good person on this earth. It's only Jesus Christ who walked this earth and is good. Everybody is a sinner with a past, and everybody has Adam's DNA. You can do things you never thought you could. So the best thing to do is to have boundaries, is to have setting standards for yourself. You know that as a married person, if you're a man, you don't go giving out your number to other women so that you be calling and chatting just for chatting's sake. That is so disrespectful. If it's a business relationship, keep it business. If your relation, and that doesn't also mean that when you see women, then you frown, then you walk away. That's not how it works. You're supposed to be cordial. You're supposed to be respectful towards other women. You're supposed to be able to have a normal conversation with other women. What we are talking about is, as a married man, you don't go around giving your numbers out to people so that even after you've had conversations at the workplace, you've had conversations at church, you go and continue the conversation somewhere else. That is a pathway. So when you create a path, It's only a matter of time. One thing will lead to another. And by the time you're aware, you're getting deeper and deeper into a situation with somebody else. As a married person, why would you be calling people deep into the night? For what? Why would you be calling opposite sex into the night? For what? And you, as a single lady, why are you calling somebody's husband at midnight, at 2 a.m.? Why? You need to have boundaries. You know that this person is married. Whatever I have, let me call them in the morning. Or if it's an emergency, let me call a female, like my type. Hopefully, that person is not looking for a same-sex whatever. But to be on the safer side, call a female. Don't go calling somebody at midnight that you need help. What help is that? And did you forget that God is available 24/7? If somebody's husband is not available, call God or call a female. As a woman, don't go giving out your numbers to men to be calling you. It's very funny. But in today's world, a lot of people like married people. Married people are cheating with each other. Single people are cheating with married people, because if you're somebody who wants a new partner all the time, your best bet is to take somebody who hasn't got time or who has ties elsewhere, so that they will not become your full responsibility, and so that they will not get stuck on you. You can leave them anytime you want. And in any case, they themselves have a short window, because if the person is married, they'll eventually go home in the evening. So you have only a short time to meet with them in the daytime. So the commitment level is very low. If you're dating a married person, their wife or their husband will be calling them plenty. So you won't even have too much work to do in their lives. You just enjoy the romantic times. You spend some money together. You do whatever you want. It's easier that way. So it's very easy even to cheat with a married person. And it's easy for a married person to cheat with another married person, because they both know that they have other interests to protect. So they're not going to be stuck on each other. And when they have issues, they'll just leave quietly and go home. So don't feel like, oh, this can never happen to me. I'm not like that. I'm a very holy person. There are no holy people in this planet Earth. Is only Jesus Christ who was holy. So as a normal human being, have boundaries. Don't go doing things that you're not supposed to do. Don't go touching other people, because you don't know which one you touch. That's something that will pass. One thing will lead to another. You're always dreaming about them. You're always thinking about. Make life easy for yourself. Have boundaries. Behave yourself. Don't think that you are too good. This one will not happen to you. Know that you are human. You are flesh and blood. Don't be overconfident, thinking that you got this. Nobody got last. The Bible says, flee from anything, flee, run from anything that stimulates youthful lust. Instead, pursue righteousness, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace, and enjoy the companionship of those who call on the name of the Lord with a pure heart. Do not be overconfident. It could happen to anybody. So have dreams and eyes open. Another reason that make people cheat, another factor that make people cheat, is loneliness. Good old loneliness. There are people who are married and their partners are right by them, but they're still lonely. Why? Because possibly the partner has this emotional partner somewhere that they are discussing everything with, they are talking things through with, sharing ideas with. And then the real partner is sitting at home with nobody to talk to. So you're married, your partner is around, but you're still lonely because your partner refuses to connect with you. And that's sad. And that could easily make you vulnerable and make you go cheat. The other aspect too is long distance relationships or marriage. You're married, your partner lives 1,000 miles away. You get to see each other like once a year. If your communication is not good, if you don't schedule calls every day or as often as possible, like you don't schedule regular calls. For some people, they could decide to call each other 3 times a week, and they make sure that that 3 times is scheduled. Maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we will talk, or maybe Saturday, Sunday, that one is scheduled. So they make sure they call at those times. And if they need to call outside of that time, they will still call. That will be additional calling time. They talk about their day, they talk about what's going on in your life, what's going on in their life, so that you are synced up and you're on the same page. If you don't communicate properly when you're in a long distance marriage, you leave yourself vulnerable and you are likely to cheat. Because one day you go to work, somebody pays you attention, somebody talks to you, and before you are aware, your heart is growing in that direction. And the person is always available, always feeding it, feeding it. By the time you're aware, you're cheating without even meaning to. So good old loneliness can make people cheat. You can be married, your partner can be sitting right there, and you still be lonely because they're not connecting with you. Or you could be having a long distance marriage and both of you are not keeping your communication lines open. So there are gaps for other people to fill in, for other people to kind of meet your emotional needs, and that is a problem. So the best way to avoid loneliness is make sure you're connecting with your partner. You shouldn't only talk when you have something to say. Sometimes just establish rapport. Ask them how the was. Ask them what's going on in their life. If you find that they're looking sad, ask them what's up. If you find that they're looking happy, try to share what's making them happy. If you realize that the emotional distance between you and your partner is getting wider, bridge it. And every once in a while, plan to spend time together. You can never have a good relationship with anybody without spending time together. Time is of the essence. There is no way around it. You could be spending the time on the phone talking to each other, maybe via video call or anything, but whichever way, you got to spend time together. You cannot be married, one person is here, the other person is there, you're not communicating. It does not work. It does not work. Technically, you're not doing marriage right. So if you find that you haven't spent time, make it a priority. You may be both busy. Schedule time to talk to each other. You're not married for marriage's sake, and you're not married because you have a certificate. You're married because you're sharing your lives together. So no matter what, make the effort to spend time together. Don't act like you're busy all the time, because whatever that you're busy for, you're able to make time and go do it, which means it's important to you. So if your marriage is important to you, you will make the time. You will make the time to spend time with your partner. Another mistake that married couples make is that they spend all their time for their children. And then when it comes to the two of them, they don't have any time together. Make the effort. Sometimes leave the children. You don't always have to be entertaining. Go on dates, just the two of you. It's very difficult when your children are very young because they need you and they are technically helpless. So you have to do most of the things for them. But even then, when they fall asleep, find some 30 minutes somewhere, find some 1 hour somewhere, spend time together. And what helps also is when you take care of them together. Let's say shower time, you grab them, you shower all of them together as you are helping them getting showered and getting dressed, you're doing it together. It will make you finish faster. And it will help you have time for each other. Because if one person were doing it and it will take 2 hours, if two people do it, it will take 1 hour. And you have 1 hour to spend together. So make it a priority to spend time with your partner. Don't let her or him sit by you in the same house and you spend time together. You're not talking to each other. You don't have to have something to talk about. Just be there. The conversation will come. Start asking innocent questions and start asking theoretical questions, whatever. As long as you're spending time together, that bond is going to strengthen. And if you're in a long distance relationship or marriage, make sure you are scheduling the time. Make it a priority. If you say every Monday at 6, we will talk on the phone. Monday at 6, make the call. If for some reason you can't make it, adjust the time. Whatever it takes, do it. Make sure your communication lines are open. Tell them about your day, the things that you did, so that you both feel connected to each other. So good old loneliness can make you cheat. Don't let loneliness take your partner away from you. And we've already talked about sixth one, that is negative peer pressure. Having friends who condone cheating. If all you have side chicks, don't worry, you also have a side chick. If all your friends have boyfriends on the side, don't worry, you also have one. It's just a matter of time. Don't around people who condone cheating. They will help you cheat. And even when you don't feel like doing it, they'll encourage you because those are your friends. You become like your friends. And what did the verse say in 2 Timothy 2 verse 22? It says, instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace, and enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with a pure heart. Make sure your friends are good friends. They have the same goal as you. If you hang around people who think cheating is okay, it's only a matter of time. Start be cheating on your partner. Okay, so let's look at what do you do if you are done? Let's say you missed all these. You've already done the deed. You've cheated on your house. What should you do? If you are the one who cheated, what should you do? First of all, we said that some of the things that make people cheat are subconscious. They are formed in your mind from your childhood. And sometimes you don't even know about it and you don't like it, but you find yourself cheating anyway. So if you are such a person, you cheated because you don't know what was driving you. You found yourself in that pit or the grips of temptation. You fall into temptation. We've already said that it's important that you find a therapist. Go get yourself a therapist to work through any issues that you may have. They will help you go through your childhood, try and remember stuff, be able to establish what it is that is making you cheat. And Sister also said people also cheat to get back at their spouse. Yes, that is very true. We talked about insecurity, right? As you're sitting there, you think your partner is cheating anyway. So you are also going to cheat just to make it even. That's it right there. Sister Elsie just hits the nail on the head. They're cheating to get back at you. And sometimes you may not even have cheated. They are just you. So they're cheating to annoy you, or they're just cheating to punish you. Well, for such people, their reward is in Hebrews 13 verse 4. When they go before God, that is when they will answer for everything that they did, for the vows that they said, and they themselves flaunted it. So if you are the one who cheated, Find a therapist, especially when you don't want to be cheating, but you find yourself falling into that temptation over and over again. Find a therapist. Work out your issues with a therapist. If you cannot afford one, or you for whatever reason you cannot find a therapist, pray. Deal with every altar in your life, in your background, wherever it is that is causing you to fall into those cycles. Pray hard, fast, and pray. And keep at it until you get your freedom. Because for cycles that are subconscious, in a way that you were drawn to it without even knowing what made you do it, if you don't keep at it and you're not vigilant, it will never go away. You will still be saddled with cheating. And the fact that you are not conscious of it does not mean that when you cheat, you will not get consequences. You cheat and you get diseases. You cheat and you break your home. You cheat, you go get pregnant. You will still suffer the consequences anyway. So wage war on whatever it is that is making you fall into temptation over and over again. The first time is temptation. The second time, maybe you failed at whatever strategy that you are using. But if you keep doing it, it's no longer temptation. It's a decision. You have decided that cheating is, don't care. And don't worry, the consequences don't care either. They will keep coming. So it's up to you to decide to fight hard, that God will help you break out of this habit, or you find a therapist to help you deal with whatever issues there are, and you be committed to putting an end to these cycles that you don't want. So another thing to do, what are some of the signs that your partner is cheating? That's what my boss is asking. What are the signs that your partner is cheating? Okay, we will go back to that in a minute. Signs that your partner is cheating. We'll go back to that in a minute. Let's finish talk about if you are the one who cheated. Yeah, so first of all, we said that find a therapist, pray seriously, make sure you wage that war to overcome those cycles in your life. The one who cheated. The second thing is that come clean. There are people, when they cheat, they wipe their mouth and go and sit down. If you really want to stop this habit, you need to come clean, confess. As you confess, your partner will have eagle eyes on you. And whatever questions your partner has to ask, you have to be patient and answer every question. Whatever they need to know, you have to be open and spill the beans. Whatever they ask you, you cannot get angry. When you get angry and defensive, then you're just bullying them into accepting what you did. You're not sorry for what you did. And if you are not sorry, your partner may not even forgive you. So if you are the one who cheated, be honest, confess. Don't wait until you are caught. And when you are confessing and the questions are coming, be patient and answer the questions. If your partner needs to ask you questions 1 million times, you have to give them 1 million answers. You don't get to be arrogant. You don't get to bully your way through it and be like, hey, I cheated and so what? This thing, I already begged you. Why won't you forgive me? That's not how it works. Whatever it takes, whatever your partner wants from you, you will have to submit yourself and go through the process. Let them also feel that they got to the point where they got their questions answered, or they are satisfied with your attitude. You can't cheat and come and stand there and be like, I already apologized. Why are you still holding on? And if they make a reference to it, you be like, this thing that you said you are forgiving me, you are still mentioning it. Massa or madam, if you cheat, you brought yourself. Humble yourself. Let your partner deal with you small. That is how you know that you are sorry. And the more you suffer, the more you yourself, you'll be reminded every time you want to go back and do that. Do you want to go through that wahala again? Help you question yourself when the temptation arises. And then again, the last thing that we said, if you are the one who cheated, it does not mean that you do not love your partner. In a lot of cases, it doesn't mean that you do not love your partner. Just go back and Examine yourself. Examine the factors that made you cheat, and then you treat it accordingly. Also, make up your mind that your commitment to your marriage is not just to your partner. You stood before God and you made that commitment. So as you keep that commitment, you're not only keeping it to your partner, you're keeping it to God. So if you want to cheat and say that, oh, as for men, we can cheat, or as for women, we can cheat, that's up to you. When you meet God, go and tell God that. And also take responsibility for your action. Anybody says, my wife made me cheat, my husband made me cheat, my brother, my sister, you are immature. Nobody can make you do anything. If there's something going on in your marriage and you don't like it, it's your job to sit down, talk it out, and find a solution. You can't say your partner is doing something, so your solution is that you're going to cheat. That's immaturity. And that is very toxic. Nobody can make you do anything that you don't want to do. Even Jesus Christ, who died for you, has not been able to force you to live right. How much more another human being force you to do anything? My brother, my sister, if you cheat, it's on you. It's not on your partner. If you have issues, it's your responsibility to find solutions together. The solution is not to cheat. So make sure you understand, if you are cheating, now your own palaver, you brought it on yourself and you are the one at fault. It's not your partner making you cheat. If you have issues, sit down and fix it like mature people do. That my partner made me cheat is very immature. Take responsibility for your own actions. Yes, so Sanikwe asked that, what are the signs that your partner is cheating? Okay, so one of the signs is that if you realize that their physical grooming has changed, if all of a sudden your husband is dressing different, the kind of shirt that he likes, he's upped it a notch, he's changed it, he's changed his perfume, he's dressing more attractive lately, and he's often going out without you, my sister, he's probably met somebody new. If you realize that your wife is excited, she's dressing up to go places without you, and her physical grooming has upped a notch. In fact, some people even shave different when they are cheating because other people are going to look at some places. That's your sign right there that they're cheating. If they've become emotionally distant, it's like they don't even care to call you. When you call, they don't call you back. They don't bother you anymore. It's like they are not sharing their life with you anymore. It means there's somebody somewhere giving them the attention they need, so they don't need to bother with yours. If you realize that they are lying to you, you see, sometimes when your partner is lying, you can tell because they'll tell you, we're going to the supermarket or we're going to the grocery, and yet they came back with no groceries. Every time they have an excuse to be out somewhere, and you realized it's unusual. You see, if you care about your partner, when small changes happen, you will see. If you are too busy, if you don't care, all these signs may be happening under your nose, but you will not see. Okay, another way to know that your partner is cheating is that they start hiding their phones. Maybe you had the password to their phone, and all of a sudden that password has changed. And it's like when they realize that they left their phone, they go into panic mode. They're in a hurry to come and get their phone. Sometimes you can take maybe you used to be able to share phones. Oh, you pick your partner's phone, you check something, or use it to, you can check your partner's phone anytime. But all of a sudden you've realized that anytime you want to touch their phone, they'll grab it quickly and then ask you, what do you want? What do you want? Let me tell you myself. Or they've changed their password. My sister, my brother, they are hiding something. And if they cannot receive calls in your presence, hey, what else are you waiting to see? Whenever they have some calls, either they won't pick, or they'll wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then they'll take the phone, go to the bathroom, make a call, or just go outside and make a call so that you won't suspect that they are returning a call. Oh, you see, for women, it's easy to catch the men because women are very they are very attentive to detail. But you see, the men sometimes they some things. Yeah, but as for women, oh, you will see. They said that no detective is as sharp as a woman who suspects their husband of cheating. Yeah, when women suspect you are cheating, hey, you can be detectives. And sometimes for women, you can even feel it. It's like nobody tells you anything. But hey, God bless women with intuition. You'll be there, you feel like something is not right. You see, you shouldn't tell your partner to make you feel secure, or you shouldn't tell your partner to let you trust them. It shouldn't take you to make your partner trustworthy. You should be able to trust your partner by yourself. You don't have to go and tell them, do this, do this, do that, so that I can trust you. Come early, or don't do this. It's like, if you don't trust them, you don't trust them. They need to show you they can be trusted. It's not your job to tell them what to do so that you can trust them. So if at any time you feel like, nah, I can't trust this person, they're being shady, your intuition is talking to you. You yourself, you feel like there's something off. And you see, most of the time, the simplest thing for you to do is just go up and ask them, are you cheating on me? That is a very lame question. You need to put your eyes on the ground, do some investigation, because this is such a huge question that if you ask the person outright, they may lie to you. And if you don't have any evidence, you shouldn't even be having this conversation. If they are bent on cheating, they will lie to you. So important that you try and find some evidence. If you find if you find messages, take a screenshot, print them out. If you see, don't waste your time trying to follow your partner around. But if it gets to that point, you should do it if you need to. If you feel you can't trust them, because whatever they are doing that is making you not trust them, that's on them. So if your instincts tell you that there may be some cheating going on, investigate, get some evidence. If you think you have enough evidence, confront them. If they lie to you, that's another red flag that they are deep into it and they don't want to change. But if you confront them and they come clean, fine. It's important that you do some investigations first. And you should also pray about it. Pray about it, because you see, the more you pray, the faster that God will expose them. And then you can catch them red-handed. And then you take it from there. If it's therapy that you go to, if they are remorseful, because somebody who is cheating and is not remorseful, it's up to you. You see, every situation is different. If you feel like you want to continue, it's up to you, because it might be the best decision for you. If you feel like you don't want to continue, you just can't get up and leave. You have to go through the process. Make sure everything is secure before you make a move. So, Mr. Nikwe, I hope that I've been able to answer your question. Thank you so much for your question. And this is where time will allow us to go. This is how time will allow. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. God bless you. And do remember that it takes a good Christian to have a good Christian marriage. So until we meet again next week, 6 p.m. Central Time. God bless you and God bless your marriage. Don't cheat. It won't help you. Bye-bye.